Music production is an intricate and dynamic process that takes a song from its original concept to the final polished track we hear on the radio, streaming platforms, or vinyl records. The role of a music producer, while often unseen by the public, is one of the most crucial in the creation of music. From arranging melodies to mixing tracks, producers guide the creative direction of a song and help shape the sound that resonates with listeners. But what does music production actually involve? And what goes on behind the scenes of creating music? It's an art that combines technical expertise with artistic intuition, requiring a diverse skill set to bring a piece of music to life. At its core, music production begins with an idea, a seed of creativity that often starts with a basic melody, a rhythm, or a chord progression. Many artists begin by recording rough demos or ideas that may not sound polished at all, but these recordings serve as the foundation for what the song will become. Once the core idea is laid out, the producer enters the scene. A producer is not just a technical engineer. They are collaborators, guiding artists through the creative process, suggesting changes, and helping them refine their vision. Their job is to ensure that the music aligns with both the artist's goals and the commercial realities of the industry. The first stage of production is often pre-production. This phase is where the groundwork for the song is laid, and the producer works closely with the artist to figure out the song's structure, instrumentation, and overall feel. Pre-production can involve experimenting with different arrangements, trying out various tempos or time signatures, and figuring out which instruments best suit the track. A producer may ask the artist to try different vocal deliveries or experiment with guitar riffs, drum patterns, or synth layers until they find the right combination. In some cases, the producer may even help write or rewrite parts of the song to make it more compelling or marketable. Once the pre-production phase is complete, the next step is recording. This is when the magic really starts to happen, and the tracks begin to take shape. Depending on the artist's preference and the resources available, recording can take place in a professional studio, a home setup, or on location. The producer's job here is to manage the session, ensuring that all the right equipment is set up, that the recording environment is optimal, and that the artist's performance is captured as best as possible. The producer also works closely with the recording engineer, who handles the technical aspects of capturing the sound, such as microphone placement, signal routing, and level balancing. During the recording process, many layers of sound are added. This could include live instruments like guitars, drums, and pianos, but it may also involve electronic elements such as synthesizers, samples, or drum machines. The producer may ask for multiple takes of certain parts to ensure that the performance is as dynamic as possible. Sometimes, this stage can be the most time-consuming, as the producer may experiment with different variations until they land on the one that feels just right. A good producer knows when to push the artist to try something new and when to step back and let the artist's instincts take over. After all the components are recorded, the next phase is mixing. This is where the producer's technical skills come into play. Mixing involves adjusting levels, panning tracks to create space, adding effects such as reverb and delay, and making sure all the elements of the song fit together harmoniously. A producer works alongside a mixing engineer, tweaking each track to ensure it sounds as polished and cohesive as possible. The goal of mixing is to create balance. Each element of the song should be clearly heard, and the song should feel cohesive and dynamic, with no one part overpowering the others. Once the mixing process is complete, the next step is mastering. Mastering is the final step in music production and involves preparing the track for distribution. This step includes adjusting the overall volume, equalization, and compression to ensure that the song sounds great on all playback systems, from high-end speakers to the tiny speakers in smartphones. The master is then sent off to be duplicated or distributed digitally. Throughout the entire production process, there's a constant balance between the artistic and technical aspects of music creation. While the producer needs to have an excellent understanding of the technical tools, like digital audio workstations, DAW, mixing consoles, and various recording equipment, they also need to have a strong sense of musicality and creativity. The best producers are those who can strike the right balance between the technical and the creative, guiding the artist through the process while also keeping an eye on the final product's commercial potential. One of the most exciting aspects of modern music production is the increasing role of technology in the process. With the rise of software like Pro Tools, Ableton Live, and Logic Pro, music production has become more accessible, allowing artists to record and produce music in their own homes or on the go. Producers can now work remotely, collaborating with artists from around the world without ever being in the same room. This has led to an explosion of new genres and experimental sounds as technology continues to evolve and shape the music industry. Ultimately, music production is a collaborative and creative process that requires a deep understanding of both the technical and artistic sides of music. The producer's role is to help shape the sound of a song while maintaining the integrity of the artist's vision. Behind the scenes, countless hours of work, experimentation, and fine-tuning go into creating a song that resonates with listeners. From the first idea to the final mix, music production is an art that requires dedication, skill, and a passion for creating something that connects with the world.